Okay, welcome guys for our introduction to Dynamo webinar, right? Hopefully in this session, you guys will be able to understand how Dynamo works, right? And also basically understand how you can actually implement it in your workspace or in your offices, right? My name is Tabero Nechibungururu. I head up the Technical Services Department at Baker Baynes, right? And for today's session, I'm going to connect my own hotspot. I don't trust this internet. Just give me a second. Right. If you guys can't hear me, just indicate. There's a low question section that you can type in there, or you can just quickly type in a chat while I'm going through the session. Right. I will try to pace myself. It is quite a lot of information to take in, especially for this webinar that we're running. Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, the session is being recorded, right? So you will be able to go over it as well. Most of these items and the stuff that I'm showing you today is taken from a session that I attended at Autodesk University, right? I've shared that handout, basically the notes put together by Marcelo Scambelluri. He's quite a good guy on Dynamo, and he's been using it for quite a lot of times, right? So the information in the demo that I'll be taking you through is in that handout, right? You can also attend his session on Autodesk University. It is very informative, and it's a good way of learning Dynamo as well, right? I will also, in this session, I will also share the data set with you, right? So it is a bit big. It's over 100 megabytes, right? But yeah, it is over 100 megabytes. I can't even drag it onto there. What I will do though, I'll ask our marketing team to share it with you. Okay, hopefully it goes through. Right, so we will share the zip file with you a bit later. I can't share it over the GoToMeeting platform. Right, so just very quickly, who is Baker Baynes? If you don't know Baker Baynes, we're the fastest growing design and technology partner in South Africa, our largest Autodesk authorized gold partner, and we manage over 3,600 active Autodesk licenses, right? We are fully authorized, right? Specialized in the AEC, architectural engineering and construction, civil infrastructure, process and power, product design and manufacturing as well, right? We do offer other services. What I want to focus on though is CAD Learning, right? CAD Learning is an authorized publisher by Autodesk, and Baker Baynes is an authorized reseller for CAD Learning, okay? At Baker Baynes, we basically believe in designing a better world, or in assisting you design a better world. We have a technological role to play in influencing the impact of design in today's changing world. We also believe in assisting you in delivering a better product right, and also in technology adoption to produce results, right? Our main focus when it comes to it's not just selling software, adopting software, right? I just want to fix something quickly. Okay, right, we do this by having the best people in the industry. Most of our technical staff and our salespeople come from the industry, right? And we believe we offer a superior customer experience, right? And also we believe highly in a blended learning approach, right? Our blended learning approach is basically face-to-face learning and also e-learning. And we also host quite a lot of webinars weekly on our platform, right? Our services methodology, we've named it I Adopt. And the whole thinking there is basically just it's a unique approach to ensuring a successful adoption of technology within your companies and within your different industries. And the workflow really is just we come in, we assess your people, your company, and your technology, educate where we need to educate people, and also do a bit of consulting where we need to do consulting, right? And if you just look on that, that's just our overview of what we offer with our consult methodology. This is on our website, and I'm not going to go too much into detail with that. Okay, right, so Dynamo. A lot of people ask why Dynamo has come up, right, and why it's becoming such a craze in the industry. What we've seen in the industry, there's a lot of conceptual design, or there's a lot of ways that BIM has changed the building design industry. And a few of those ways are the ones that I've shown on the screen. We need to do more complex conceptual designs, right? Our designs need to be connected with different disciplines. At an early stage of design, we also we want to run simulations. We have distributed project teams all over the globe. And also we're seeing a lot of prefabrication coming in, right? And Dynamo assists with all these areas that you're seeing on the screen, right? The challenges that we've seen that have come up with these areas, there's an increasing need to maintain early design knowledge. There's an increasing need to improve the transition from concept to design, increasing need for more automation tools to reduce rework. There's obviously an increasing need for easier modeling, visualization, and analysis tools, right? And Dynamo comes in this way where it helps factor in computational design, right? Using scripting, visual scripting, and very easy scripting interface, as I'll show you a bit later, we're able to add rules to our models, we apply behaviors and logic to BIM models, be able to build a system, not just a model using Dynamo, and you're also able to extend that model to other applications as well. Dynamo also assists us to quickly explore parametric design concepts, right? And you're able to rapidly test, iterate, and study multiple design options in less time, right? Autodesk has a platform called Project Fractal, where they're using Autodesk Forge and Dynamo to run through this different parametric designs, and we call that generative designing as well, right? With Dynamo, you're also able to easily analyze and visualize geometry, right? Dynamo will give you access to a world-class geometry library to create solids and surfaces compatible with most downstream needs, right? You're able to work live in a shared collaborative environment, and also communicate with applications from inside, including Revit, Robot, Rhino, SAP 2000, etc., etc. Okay, right. Just trying to get through all the theory stuff, so we can get into the demos. But as I mentioned earlier, you can effectively work with teams using other tools when you apply Dynamo in your workflow. Right. Now, the advantages of Dynamo. I've used an example here that's very common to a lot of us that are in the building space, right? A lot of times we have, obviously when you're working on a project, you'd have multiple disciplines. On the screen, you're seeing a structural model with a MEP model. But what you can see on the screen as well, you'll see that we've created a schedule that will list clashes that are done in Navisworks. Now those clashes using Dynamo are brought back into Revit and you can visually display them. Right. Now I'm going to go through this video very slowly and explain exactly what's happening, but it's just a very quick demo to practically show you how Dynamo can be of advantage in your current workflow. Right. Oops. Okay, I just had to wait for it to pop up on the screen. Right, so just give me a second. Sorry about that, guys. My video wasn't playing, but it should play now. Just give me a sec. Okay. Right. Okay, you should be able to see what's happening on the screen now. Right. So what you're seeing on the screen is basically your Revit interface. But with this Revit interface, we've got a few split screens, right? And what we've brought in also Navisworks, right? And we've already created a Navisworks model, right? And we also have a script in there called live design clash check, right? What that script does, it brings in that clash report back into Revit, right? This workflow streams clash results between MEP and structural designs using a live link between Revit and Navisworks with Dynamo. And it improves clash-free designs anytime during the BIM process. Right, what you're seeing on the screen is Navisworks open in the background. And at the top there, we did a clash detection between walls and duct, right? And this is gonna be sent back into Revit. Clash detection can be conducted on building elements like walls versus ducts, walls versus pipe, So you'll also notice the walls in there are highlighted in red, right? Immediately, we can go back and start creating penetrations where we had clashes, rerun the clash, and immediately you'll see that wall that was not, that didn't have any penetrations in it is now updated and it doesn't show highlight in red anymore. Now, when you rerun that Dynamo script, you will notice that the clash with the linked model has been updated, and the Navisworks coordination model is also automatically updated. I'll show you in a second. Navisworks also gives you the ability to change the status of clashes to resolved, approved, or reviewed, right? And that ability, you can also add a comment to keep team members informed regarding the clash. Now, if you look on the screen there, that can also be added onto your script. So any clashes that have been reviewed can also be adjusted on there. Okay. Right, I know that was very quick, but just to give you an indication there, right, having the ability to see those clashes inside of your Revit model and actually fix it and add in penetrations immediately is a huge advantage, right? Traditionally, you'd have to go back and forth between the models or use your switch back command to see where those issues are, right? But the script reduces that workflow magnificently, right? Okay, so I'm going to go through a quick demo showing you how to do a tedious task inside of Revit, right? And this task that we're going to do, we're going to convert text to uppercase. Now, if you look on my screen, I've got a little frame there, right? Just showing you what each node does, right? This was taken from that Autodesk University session, right? And you'll also see the steps in the handouts that I shared with you. Now, in this example, we're going to change, if you look on the bottom left, we're going to change all the views in our project, right, to suit our company standards, right? So this happens quite a lot where users go in and they just type in view names not following project standards, and using this script or this Dynamo script, we're going to convert all the view names into uppercases. Okay, so the first node selects, you'll see it will take, I'll take you through the entire workflow, but the first node selects the view plan family. Second node, this will select all the view plans in the Revit project. The third node will input the parameter names from the Revit project. The fourth node gets the new name of each view plan. And then the fifth node will change all the view names to uppercase, right? I will explain it as we go and as we connect all the nodes in the demo, right? And then lastly, the sixth node, this node will then set the view name of each plan view to uppercase. Now, on each side of each node, you'll see there's those little input and output. Just as a quick tip, on the right of your node, that is your output. The left of your node, that is your input. So we, in this case, will be taking out view plans and inputting them to element types. From that, we'll output those elements, change and attach them to parameter value by name and parameter name. And then also the same goes hand in hand. You'll see as we go through the demonstration. Okay, so on the screen, I'm using our Revit demo, right? With the package that I'll share with you, you'll also be able to apply this on your project. Now, traditionally, to go in and change those view names, you'd have to go, I'll show you in a minute, you'd have to go and click on the view. Right, so you go click on the view, either right click on the view and change it, right? Or you go to the properties palette itself and retype it in there. Now for projects that you have in your offices, you will find that you will have multiple views in there, right? So you can run Dynamo inside of Revit to fix this. Now the scripts work in any version of Revit. The current script that I'm using was done on Revit 2016, but you can still run it on Revit 2019. I tested it out on my software. Right, so just to go over it quickly. Previously, Dynamo used to be an add-in that was installed separately. Now, when you install Revit, you won't find Dynamo under add-ins. You'll find Dynamo in your Manage tab. I'll show you in a second. Right, just going to open up Revit 2019 on my machine, hoping it doesn't crash. Right, and I'll show you exactly where it is located on your machines. Right now, Dynamo works well when Revit is open as well, right? So preferably you should have two screens. In this case here, I'm sharing both softwares on one screen, okay? So what you do, you'll open up Dynamo, start off a new project. Inside of Dynamo, you've got a list of nodes, of tabs on the left of the screen here. Each tab has its own specific nodes, right? Now what Dynamo is picking up, it's picking up our API language or coding that's in Revit, right? So inside of Revit, that first floor plan, that is called a view name, right? And that view name is set as a system family, and you will need to go inside of Dynamo and find the node for system families, right? I'll show you in a second. Right, so inside of Revit, that's view name, but when you go into Dynamo, we're going to go to Revit, we're going to go to selection, right? Expand selection, and you'll see our system families are saved under element types, right? In that handout, you will find there's a section on one of the last pages where Marcelo shows you exactly what each parameter is called inside of Dynamo. So I don't know if you picked that up. With that node, we scroll down, it will give us a list of all the system families. We need to go down and find view plan. Okay. We need to tell Dynamo what we want to do with those view plans. Which ones are they that you want to pick up? So we're going to add in another selection node, right? Connect the output from the element types node and input it on elements of type, right? Now we need to tell Dynamo what element types we want to pick up. This watch node that we searched for here is a very useful node. It allows you to visualize elements that are being selected as you add in your script, right? So you'll see now if we connect those elements to the watch, immediately it will give us a list of all the view plans that are listed in our Revit project. That just assists you to visualize elements that are being selected inside of Revit. Okay. Inside of Revit, you'll notice, obviously, on our project browser, that is a view plan or a view name parameter, right? But that view name parameter has a specific setting already assigned to it, right? So we need to tell Dynamo that with those items that you've selected, we want to pick up a specific parameter, which is that name there. And in this case here, we'll go in and add in get parameter value by name. And then we're also going to add in set parameter by name. So what we want Dynamo to do, we wanted to pick up, just a quick recap, we wanted to pick up system families. So we use the element type, types node to pick up our system families. In that element types node, we picked up view plan, right, which is our system families for our view names, right? We then specify types of elements what are shown, right, and that is all elements of type. We just linked it to a watch node so we can see items that are selected, right? We then added in two more parameters, right? Value by name, which allows us to pick up the value that was edited in there, and we added in a set parameter by name, which allows us to edit that parameter name in there. So we're going to take those elements, grab them from get parameter value by name, and we're going to take the parameter name and link it up to set parameter value by name. This code block node that you're seeing on the screen here, right? That is a very useful parameter, also the get parameter value by name. This allows you to also edit whatever that parameter name is. If I go to my screen here, for example, if I wanted to edit title on sheet, instead of going and recoding everything, I can just go in there and type in title on sheet. It will pick up the parameter name and will give me a list of all the different titles on sheets on there, right? Just to take you through that quickly, right? So we loaded in our code block parameter, typed in view name in the node, linked it to parameter name, and immediately gives us a list of all the view names that we have in our Revit project. Okay. Dynamo has a node called string to upper, right? And this is the node that we'll be using to convert all the text in our project to uppercase, right? So take note, what we've done here in Dynamo, we've basically just set up a script that allows us to select specific parameters in our project, right? And just by mere fact that we can see it on our watch and we can also see it on a list indicates to us that this script is working properly. Okay, now what we need to do now is get the node that will convert the selected parameters to a specific thing, right? So in this case, you'll notice when we search for upper, it brings up a node for converting text to upper, changing case, and also by coordinate system. There are a whole lot of nodes that you can download and install into your Dynamo. So this node specifically converts anything given to it to uppercase. Right, so we're going to output those parameters and input them into that node, and immediately you can see on our list that those texts immediately are being converted. Now we need to apply that change, that output, and bring it into our elements. So we need to specify which elements we want to change. We want to change them by parameter name, and the value will be coming from the string attached. So we're taking our view names into parameter name, and the value from the string to upper, right? So we're going to take it from the output into that output, right? As soon as you do that, right? So just take note. So we've selected items. We know which parameters we're picking up. The node that I'm hovering on, that's our get parameter name. We also need to set the parameter by name. However, without this string to upper node, nothing would happen to those parameters. So the string to upper node needed to take information of items that we've selected and then output it back to the same items that we are selecting. Immediately, as soon as you do that, Dynamo will send out an instruction. I don't know if you guys saw that, back to Revit, and Revit will then realize that Dynamo is wanting to change parameters inside of its software, and you guys should be familiar with this little dialog box where it asks you if you'd like to rename any corresponding views and levels. Right. In this case here, this is only popping up because we've connected that node to that value. Without Okay, guys. Craig, I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, thanks, Leon. I honestly don't know what happened there. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. Okay, please confirm if you can all just see my, if you can all see my screen, right? Okay, there's a few of us in the web, and I'm going to unmute you. Okay. Craig, can you see my screen?
So we are unmuted. Tabella?
Yes, Craig.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
We can see your screen, but I can't see your cursor moving, so I'm not sure if it's frozen.
Okay, it's just paused for now. I just want to make sure if you can see Dynamo and Revit on my screen.
No, I can just see your cover page, Introduction to Dynamo.
Is it okay? Okay, let me sort that out.